Hi, crafty friends. All right, let's do 3 gift wrapping ideas. So first up, I am super words are hard today. Bow challenged. I cannot make bows. This is the only one that I can make when they're big and puffy and really pretty. You know those bows? Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this around the package, and I'm using wired ribbon. For this, you have to use wired ribbon. So we're just going to tie this around, and then we're going to just put this into a knot. Actually, I was like, oh, let me tie it around this other loop just to keep it all super secure. You don't have to do this part, but it just makes it all kind of come together. So once we get this tied around, then we're going to grab the spool, and we're going to make the loop parts. So I like to make the loops the length of the package that I have. So we'll fold it over one time here, and then we will fold it over again, and then we will do another fold, and then we will do another fold over like this. And then what we're going to do is, guess what? We're going to cut it off. So once we do that, we're going to gather it in kind of the center part, the middle part, and then we are going to tie that into those longer tails that we left there. The great thing about the wired ribbon is once we go to fluff this bow, it will hold in the parts that we want. So I just tie it in a knot there. You can do a double knot if you want to, and then just start moving everything around. Once you get it how you want, then you just trim off your edges, and you have a really easy, super cool bow. I love these so very much. All right, so on to project number 2. This is another bow that I can do, but this is also a little trick when you have something to wrap, but it doesn't fit in the extra paper. Y'all know we got the extra paper. So I just kind of lay it cattywampus in there. And as long as the 2 tails there, or the 2 edges meet, you are going to have enough to wrap this. So just do that little test, and then that'll make sure that you have enough. So we're just going to fold these in on either side, get them taped in, and then once we turn to the other side, we kind of have to push our ends in to make that fold up. You can push them inside, or you can do that fold up and then push them on the outside so that you have those nice crisp edges. So once we get this all done, this is, okay, I lied before. This is the second bow I can do. It's just not as fancy. But some people prefer this over a fancy bow, so whatever you prefer. But what I like to do is if I have a certain ribbon that I like, which in this case I do, I have a pink ribbon that's not, none of these are wired that we're going to do with this, that kind of coordinates with the bow we just did. And then I'm also going to keep, you guys, when I am doing projects, I save all the scraps, all the parts and pieces of ribbon. I need to put them in a bin by color because I've, okay, hi, I'm Bonnie, and I have a bit of a scrap ribbon pile going on, so I had to separate them out into colors. But what we're going to do is we're just going to, again, like we did at first, we're going to use the original ribbon, and we're going to tie it around the package. And then we're going to take the little extras, and we're just going to tie those into the top so that you have that messy bow look. Again, this is a great way to get rid of all your scraps that you have. And then you can reuse these again after all of the presents are opened and you're like, oh, what do I do with these? Yep, I save everything, friends, because then we can just do these fun little rag bows. So I'm just going to kind of lay the pieces in here. Some are long, some are shorter, however you want it to be. And then we'll just tie this over the top. Easy peasy, trim down the top if you want. If not, you can just leave it like that. This is always fun to add like little bells and stuff into it as well. But I just think that this is a cool way to use the extra paper and all that extra ribbon that you've been holding as well. So now we're going to do a project number 3, and this is my favorite one. Do y'all have those crazy things that you're like, how am I going to wrap this? So what I do is I lay it out, and then I fold the paper over so that I know that I have enough of the width of the paper. So once we get all of that cut off, what we're going to do is we are going to move the stuffed animal, and then we're going to just fold this over so that they kind of meet in the middle, but there's a little bit of an overlap. Because what we're going to do is we're going to make a bag to put the stuffed animal down in. Rather than having to find a box, or I like my paper to be coordinating. Are you guys that way? Or do you just use whatever paper you have? I like the coordinating. So this is a way, if you were going to use a gift bag and you couldn't find one that matches your paper, this is a way to make your own. So if you had double-sided tape, this would probably be a whole heck of a lot easier. But when I just went to do the seam, I just kind of, used regular tape, folded it along. So what we'll do is once we get this done, we are going to close off one end of this, and then we're going to make kind of like the bottom of the bag part. So I didn't tape all the way up the center of this yet, just because I'll show you what we're going to do. But just fold over as wide as you need it to be to fit the stuffed animal or whatever inside of it. This is another good one to do with toys that you can't get wrapped up normally. So I'm just going to fold my edges down in, and then I'm going to fold the longer parts down. This is the part where I was like, wait, what do I do? Oh yeah, okay. So push them back in. I know, I had to think about it when I was doing it. I was like, come on, Bonnie, you've got this. And so then we're going to fold it up like halfway, but one of them will overlap the other one. So we're going up to that seam there, but then the other one, we're going to go up just a little bit farther, and we're going to tape off this bottom part. And then that'll be the bottom part of the bag. Now, this paper was a little bit longer than I actually needed for the top part. So I trimmed some of that down after I got it all kind of folded out here. Again, that's my bottom. And then we'll just slide the stuffed animal right down in there. You know, like the brown paper that has the decorative on it, that paper is always kind of a little bit thicker. So I would suggest using that if you're doing something other than like a stuffed animal or something that's lightweight. So we're going to fold everything down here. I took out an extra piece of paper that's obviously the same thing. And we're going to make a handle out of this. So I love to use up all the scraps. Drives me nuts when I have like all these extra scraps and I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do with it? So this is one of those. I'm like, let's make it into a handle. So I fold everything over on itself, and then we're going to tape that off, and then I will fold that again to make it a little bit thinner. I pushed in my edges. We'll get those taped off there. And then we have this little bag. And I thought, let's add something to this that's completely unexpected, but so on trend right now, because y'all know bows are big right now. Bows for your hair can be used for so many different things. And I got a bunch of them on sale right before Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh, we can totally use these on our packages. So this is what the bow is. I just think they're adorable. Like I said, they were on sale, so yay to that. And we're just going to take this off there and then just use this and go right around the strap. Look at this. And then not only do they get the stuffed animal, but they get the bow too. So thanks so much for watching, friends. I hope this will help you wrap your presents. Follow for more.